Hello there and welcome to day 15 of my Lexical Lab Summer School 2018 video diaries. We're exactly halfway through the 6 weeks and today we've finished actually the Developing Materials course. It's only a 1-week course and we're halfway through the Basic English course. And I was on the Basic English course today and it was an interesting day. My students were slightly late because one of the Sicilians had a little bit of an accident and I got a text message from them, and so we began the lesson after we managed to get a bit of first aid applied by a newly qualified first aider. We began the lesson just with a little bit of kind of reformulating of the message. So it was things like, Hugh, sorry, we're going to be late. Cettina fell down and hurt her arm. Oh no, does she need a doctor? No, she's okay. And again, as I've said earlier in these videos, if you're working from conversation and thinking about conversation, a lot of the basic stuff like going to be, past simple things that you need every day, need, she's okay, she'll be okay, those kind of things just come back time and time and time again. We then had a little discussion about what did you do yesterday? Luckily, I knew the answer to this question because I know where Andrew had taken them out to, and we went to the Greenwich Observatory. How was it? It was okay. We didn't go in. Then we went on a boat to St. Paul's Cathedral. And did you go in the cathedral? No, we didn't. We just took photos. And we then did a couple of pages from Outcomes Elementary called I Had a Great Weekend, which was basically just looking at very simple conversations along the lines of, did you have a good weekend? Yes, it was okay. No. And then explaining why, okay? And again, it was basically thinking, a lot of the time I think course books stagger. They stagger the exposure that students have to past simples. So you often get regular past simple verbs first and irregular second, despite the fact that actually the irregulars are super common. You look at the most 100 common words in the language, some of them are past simple irregular verbs, things like had, did and went. So we just basically looked at some things like, I had lunch with some friends, I went shopping, I don't know, I can't remember what else we had. And then we had a little chat about, what did you do last weekend? Did you have a good weekend? We worked on all of that. Someone this week on Facebook, in response to one of these posts, actually asked me, they commented on the fact that 2 weeks is obviously a very limited period of time for students, particularly at this kind of level, sort of A1, A2 sort of level, elementary level, and asked what my expectations of the course were. And I guess my feeling would be, obviously, my expectations are very limited. There's not much you can achieve on a 2-week course when you're an elementary student. But I think what you can be expected to achieve is the ability to manage some basic conversations, to answer basic questions like, where are you from? Which part? When did you arrive here? When are you going to go home? What do you do? What do you teach? What did you do last night? Did you have a good weekend? How long have you been teaching? How long have you been smoking? How long have you been working there? How long have you been married? Those kind of conversations, I think, are easy to learn, and that's the kind of thing that we're teaching towards. Obviously, a lot of their answers won't be fully grammaticalized. We're not expecting that. We're kind of expecting more of a receptive ability to recognize, oh, that grammar's used to talk about the past. That grammar's used to talk about generally, always. That grammar's used to talk about the future. We're also doing a lot of work on pron, and in particular on linking. So it's things like, I played a game of tennis with some friends. I went out for dinner with some friends. Doing a lot of work on that kind of linking of consonants and vowels to help the students be able to hear English better. Right, I'm actually off out to take them all on a boat trip down to Kew Gardens on a lovely sunny London day. So, thank you very much for watching and for putting up with me as we reach the halfway point.